Hello and a very good morning to all of you. I hope you all went through the communication chapter, which we did in the last class. So a quick look at the question paper, the past question paper, so that you have an idea of what kind of questions you will be tested. Okay, so for the beginning, I'll show you the question paper. We'll just look at the communication chapter questions alone because they are for 1 or 2 marks and they may be up to 10 marks as a whole paper. Now let's look at the question paper, the past question paper. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Oh, just a minute. Okay, so yeah, it's here. Just a minute, I'm showing you the question paper. Yeah, it's here. Yeah. So I'll just run through this. So this BCR paper is clubbed with the law paper. For totally, it is 100 marks. 60 marks is for the law paper and 40 for the BCR. So the first part is the law paper and it also has a Hindi version. So we're not looking at that. I hope all of you are with me, right? And here starts the BCR paper. You know, the first question number 7 in your paper is mandatory, without which your paper will not be valued. You must attempt that question. That's for your information. Now, after every 5 marks question, you have a short answer question and grammar and vocabulary test. Now, let's look at this. So, after comprehension, you had note making, and now comes, I hope all of you can see. So, this is the first question. It says, courteousness is an important characteristic of effective communication. Comment, unless we are courteous, the other person may not even listen to what we are saying. So that becomes an important part of effective communication. Okay, now look at this. So that's only one question after the long answer question. So I move on. Now you have Prezi. After the Prezi, you have one question from the communication chapter. How attitude barriers affect communication in the organization, or explain the term E3 communication. So choice is not compulsory, in the sense question papers might differ depending on the paper setter's intent. So in this paper, the last year December 22 paper has a choice. Most question papers don't have a choice. So you'll have to be prepared with the entire chapter. How attitude barriers affect communication in the organization? Okay. When a person has an attitude, communication is never complete or can be misinterpreted, because the choice of words, the body posture will all change according to your attitude. Now, aesthetic communication is music, dance, drama, where you don't convey with words, but with a sense of beauty that lies behind the aesthetic communication. Now, next you have a 5-mark question, and then explain 2 types of formal communication. Okay, so that is vertical and diagonal, vertical and horizontal. Okay, they have only explained, they are, so you must be able to write a sentence or 2 about each of them. So vertical is communication between the boss and his junior. The horizontal is communication between 2 people of the same hierarchical position, belonging to the same organization or a different organization. But hierarchical position is very important. Okay, then I move on. After the article, here again you have, what do you mean by grapevine communication? That's gossip in the office, away from their own cubicles, say during staff meeting, conferences, high tea, parties, where you get to know about each other, you know, in a social way, in a better way. Sometimes even problems get solved with this kind of meeting. Okay. So here is another 5-mark question, and with that it gets over. So this is just to let you know how the question paper is and how you can plan studying for your exam. That's the reason why I showed you this just now. Just give me a minute. I'll have to open your question plate. I opened again, it got, yeah. Just a minute, yeah, it's here. Yeah, here I am. Here, yeah, a very good morning to all of you. And here again, I close this now because we've seen one paper, one past question paper with questions on communication chapter. A minimum of 4 or 5 questions you will get, which can be for 1 or 2 marks, that depends. And here is a request from my side. Please don't write paragraphs for a 2-mark or a 1-mark question. Some candidates write, and that's a sheer waste of time. Write it in brief, not more than 80 words. That should be your, yeah. So I stop sharing this. I go back to chapter 2 now, and that is sentence types. Okay. Let me now share my PowerPoint with you. Yeah, here we are. Okay. No, not this. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, chapter 2, sentence types. What can add spice to our writings? All of us write. We write for the exams, we write letters to friends, known people, familiar people. We write a lot, we speak a lot. So what adds, so before I go on to this chapter, let me put it on slideshow. Yeah, so we start off with chapter 2, sentence type. Before that, let me answer your questions. Do they give full marks? Yes, they give you full marks. 3 to 4 lines. If it is a 2-mark question, not more than 80 words. Yeah, Krishna, it will be good if you can memorize because you will not write more. That is one reason. You can write on your own words if you can remember the keywords. Only these 2 conditions. What all subject exams? This paper is for 100 marks, where you have the law paper and the BCR paper together. That's for 3 marks, 3 hours and 100 marks. That's for Shanti. Okay, so now let's go on to what adds spice to a language. It's a vocabulary, it's a different types of sentences that we can use. Subhadeep, it's okay to write it in bullet points as long as you have the keywords there. Okay, now we close chapter 1. We move on to chapter 2. What can add spice to our writings? Different vocabulary, different phrases, most appropriate words, right? And a variety of sentences. Variety of sentences. That's very, very, very important. Okay. Yeah, the tone. Yes. Yes. Kushi, you have to manage between BCR and law paper. Yes, that's important. Now, coming to this. So we have said the tone, the pitch, the modulation, the intonation, the vocabulary you use, the most appropriate words, the pauses that you make while you communicate. All these are important. Now we are talking about sentence types. Why do you think sentence types are important? Whether you speak or you write, because we must have a variety of sentences. And that's the reason why this is given in your foundation English, because you must understand the working of different kinds of sentences so that you use with a variety of sentences when you write or when you speak in the office place. Okay, now let's begin with a sentence. They create meaning in language. Sentence creates meaning in a language. Okay, now what is the phrase? So a sentence has two parts: the subject and the predicate. Subject is the noun along with the article. Predicate is the rest of the sentence. That much you understand. That's for the beginning. Now, what are phrases and clauses? Phrases are a group of words that does not give you complete meaning, whereas a clause gives you a complete meaning. For example, when I say peacocks dance, okay, it has a subject and a predicate. It has a main verb. Dance is a main verb. Peacock is a subject. So it forms a complete sentence. Now, for example, they create meaning in a language. Phrase is the group of words that make sense but not complete sense. It cannot stand alone but can be used as a part of a sentence. For example, at 5, although it rained. See, when I'm talking, when I'm explaining, if you will type your answers, okay, you might not be listening to me. So please listen to the answers and then type your questions. That will be good for you. Okay. In the morning. Clause is so that is a phrase. Clause is a group of words. Just give me a minute. The chat box has gone. Oof. I don't know where it went. Okay, give me a minute. Let me open it again. Because sometimes if I don't keep touching it with a touch mobile, it closes by itself. So just a minute. Let me open it. Yeah. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, I got your question. So don't post your questions when you are listening. Okay, post your questions. I'll give you 5 minutes time to post your questions and then you can. Otherwise, when you're posting the questions, I wonder whether you're listening to me at all. Okay, so now somebody's asked me notes for chapter 1. My PowerPoints always are very, very close to the notes that are given there in your study material. You don't need another notes for that. What you can take down is, when I say this is a very often repeated question, you can take down such things so that you remember that these questions will be tested. Okay, so now coming back to the phrase and the clause, phrase is a group of words that gives some kind of meaning, but it doesn't give you a complete meaning. For example, although it rained, in the morning. Okay, now a clause is something that gives you a complete sentence. It has a subject and a predicate, and it also has the main verb. Now, the main clause or the independent clause. The clauses are of two types: main clause or independent clause. Main clause is something that has a main verb in it. Independent clause adds meaning to the main clause. And it is not, you can have two independent clauses, which has a subject and a predicate and can stand by itself as a complete sentence. And the subordinate clause, which can add only meaning and not stand by itself. Now, in this juncture, I want to tell you that you will not be tested in what is a clause. Give examples of a clause. Give examples of, you will not be tested that way. All that will be tested of you in the exam will be change from active to passive or passive to active, change from reported speech to direct speech or direct speech to report speech, or identify whether it's a simple complex compound. These are the type of questions you will be asked. But these topics and subtopics lead you to understand how a simple complex compound sentence works. Okay? Now, okay, now I move on. So you have samples of independent clauses and dependent clauses. Independent clause is called the main clause. Dependent clause is called the subordinate clause. Subordinate clause because it will not be complete without the independent clause. In other words, it's a phrase. For example, you help, okay, is a independent clause. You have the subject and the main verb. And then look at the subordinate. Until you reach the highway, you have to keep quiet until you reach the highway. You have to keep quiet is a main clause. Until you reach the highway will be the subordinate clause. Now let me move on. Identify a phrase and a clause. You have 2, 4, 6 sentences and I give you 5 minutes on that. Quick. Now the time is 11:16. As you post your answers, post in one go. Don't post one by one because that will save time for you. And I will also know how many of you have posted or whether all of you have posted your answers. So post your answers in one go. No sound at all? Let me check with the board. Vinu, some says no sound at all. Am I okay? Vinu? Because 2 of them have said that they don't hear anything. Okay, fine. Thank you. Yeah, now we go back to identify a phrase and a clause. Come on. Here is an exercise. For example, he would reduce cost. We would reduce cost. We would reduce cost is the main clause. Okay. Then the next one. So quickly write down here. Post here in the chat box, which is a phrase and which is a clause. Quick. And I'll give you 2 minutes time also to post your questions. And then I will move on. Vujjal, there's something wrong with you. Because my side is clear, the institute also has no issues. Okay, quickly write the answers. I'll wait for you. Vujjal, check your device whether you have muted it. Sadhana, difference between a clause and a phrase. A phrase is a group of words that gives you some meaning, but not the complete meaning. A clause is a group of words which gives you complete meaning. When I say peacocks dance, is a main clause. It has a subject and a predicate. It has the main verb. Peacocks dance when it rains. When it rains is a phrase. Okay? A group of words which can give you additional meaning, but not complete meaning. Yamini, I just now said main clause is something that is a group of words that has a complete meaning. It has a subject and a predicate. It also has a main verb. Whereas a phrase is a group of words which give you additional meaning to the main clause. Screen is blurred. No, dear. Who's that? Patak. Okay, now I give you the answers. You may check. We would reduce cost. Main clause. Clause. The entire district was destroyed. Clause. Peacocks dance. Clause. In the north is a phrase. After the storm is a phrase. Nobody can solve the problem is a clause. Tom painted. Clause. In the theater is a phrase. He has a silver tongue. Clause. Ram lives in Chennai. Clause. A yellow dress is a phrase. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, you have here some more sentences where you have 2 main clauses in a sentence. A sentence can have 2 or more main clauses to make it long, winding, interesting. Okay. So I went to see the doctor because I was feeling well. If you look at the sentences, the middle sentence is connected with a conjunction because. Okay. Here you have a relative clause, who. She ordered for what she wanted. Okay, where we cannot tell. Okay, this is a bit blurred. We'll go on to the next sentence. Yeah. Write sentences for each of these type of sentences. Now here, you have 4 different types of sentences. You have declarative, imperative, interrogative, exclamatory. Now, why are we introducing these kind of sentences now? Because I remember your second standard or third standard deals with types of sentences. We are called difference between a phrase and a clause. Saurav, how many times to say? Yellow dress is not a main clause. It's a phrase. I like the yellow dress. Okay. Then it becomes a complete sentence. Now, difference between phrase and clause, Saurav. And with this, I will stop saying it. A phrase is a group of words which gives you additional meaning. A clause is a group of words that will give you complete meaning. Phrase and subordinate clause, both are the same. Because subordinate clause is also a dependent clause. A dependent clause is a phrase. Saurav, do you get it now? Yeah. Now, declarative sentence, it is a simple sentence. Imperative is a command sentence. Do this, do that. Interrogative is a question sentence. Exclamatory is an exclaiming sentence. A sentence that sound. Ujjal, nothing from my side. I'm clear. Okay. There are 3 types of sentences, mainly simple, complex, and compound. We have here, okay, we have here simple, complex, and compound. This is important for 2 reasons. One is you will have a variety of sentences while you read, while you write, or while you speak. Main clause is a group of words that gives you complete meaning. Okay. Type of phrases. You don't have types of phrases. We are not getting into the noun phrase, adjective. We are not getting into that now. You don't need to even know it. Now just understand what is a clause and a phrase, and then we will move on to simple, complex, compound. Okay, now a simple sentence consists only of one subject and one predicate. It has the one main verb. In other words, it has a single main clause. One main clause is what the simple sentence will have. She ordered is a clause. Because you put a full stop, it's complete. Okay. For example, I walk. Sham ran after his brother. In great anger, the man shouted and yelled at his lazy son. These are examples of simple sentences. You will have 5 marks out of 40 marks from sentence types. Because after every 5-mark question, you will have a question on vocabulary, grammar, and communication. That's how the paper is designed. Now, a simple sentence consists of one independent clause, which means it contains a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. Here is an example. I enjoy reading books. In this example, I is the subject, enjoy is the verb, and reading books is the object. The sentence expresses a complete thought, and therefore it is a simple sentence. Now, let's move on to what is a complex sentence. Just give me a minute. Nobody. Yeah. Complex sentence. A complex sentence consists of one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. So a complex sentence can have a main clause and a subordinate clause. It can also have 2 subordinate clauses. Okay. It depends on the length of the sentence and how the author, the writer, or the speaker wants to design his sentence. Now, a complex sentence consists of one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. So it should have a sentence that has one independent clause is a simple sentence. A sentence that has one independent clause and one or more subordinate clauses becomes a complex sentence. A sentence that has 2 main clauses or more than 2 main clauses, that becomes a compound sentence. Let me repeat. A sentence is a simple sentence when it has only one main clause. A complex sentence has a main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Compound sentence has two or more main clauses in the same sentence. Which one, Sanya? Which one are you asking whether it's a compound clause? Okay, you wait. We have not yet finished. So, for example, although it was raining, I went for a walk. So, I went for a walk is a main clause. Although it was raining is a subordinate clause. In this example, I went for a walk is the independent clause, and although it was raining is the dependent clause. The dependent clause relies on the independent clause to form a complete thought. So, it cannot stand on its own. I went for a walk is a complete sentence. Although it was raining is not a complete sentence. It has to go with I went for a walk to give you complete meaning. Now look at this compound sentence. Compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses joined by conjunctions. For example, such as and, but, or. Punctuations like semicolons can also be joiners. Something punctuation that can join sentences. Here is an example. I like coffee and she prefers tea. I like coffee, I can say separately. She prefers tea, again, is a main clause. And is put in the middle. That's conjunction that can join two sentences. Therefore, it is a compound sentence. Two or more main clauses in a sentence becomes a compound sentence. One main clause and one subordinate clause or one or more subordinate clauses will be the complex sentence. And a sentence that has a main clause alone is a simple sentence. That's what you need to understand. I went to the store, I bought some groceries. It has a semicolon in between. In this example, I went to the store and I bought some groceries are two independent clauses joined by a semicolon. Compound sentences allow you to connect related ideas and gives more variety to your writing. Your writing or your speech will be very interesting if you have a variety of sentences. How will you identify whether it is a main clause or a subordinate clause? The part of the sentence that gives you complete meaning, that can be written with a full stop, will be the main clause. To say it very grammatically, it should have a subject and a predicate. It should have a main verb. Then it is a complete sentence. A main clause is something that has a subject and a predicate. The main clause has one main verb. Yeah, now I'll wait for your questions. Then I'll revise this again and then move on. Quick. I'll wait 2 minutes for your questions. Come on fast. So let me repeat. A simple sentence is a sentence. Yes, Gupta, but why do you talk about it now? Simple sentence has a subject and a predicate, and it is a main clause. A complex sentence has a main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. How do you identify whether it is a subordinate clause? It should not have a verb. The main verb will not be there. The noun with the article is called the subject. The rest of the sentence is predicate. Yes, compound sentence will have two or more main clauses. What is a predicate? The first part of the sentence that begins with an article. Suppose I say a book, the girl. Okay, those are subjects. The rest of the sentence is predicate. Complex sentence is something that has one main clause and two or more subordinate clauses. Yeah, we will do. We have plenty of examples. He shouted and yelled at us. Boy, is a simple sentence. Why? Although you have and, it is a simple sentence because just give me a minute. It's got closed again. Just give me a minute. I'm the chat box closed, so I'm just getting it back. Yeah. One example of complex sentence. Here you have. Although it was raining, I went for a walk. She is the girl who got the first rank. Complex sentences have relative clauses. Who? Okay? Or words like although, since, for. Main and independent clause are the same. Subordinate clause is a group of words that cannot stand independently, that cannot give you a full meaning, a complete meaning. That's subordinate clause. Okay, we stop this here. We are going to see more of examples, then you will understand. Okay. Now look at this compound sentence. Compound sentences are one or more main clause, has one or more main clauses that is joined with a conjunction, and, because, so, as. Okay. Now it has two or more independent clauses. Now let's look at this. Two independent clauses added by, joined by one of these. These are conjunctions. Yes, Suraj, I know, and I'm answering everybody's question. Just that I don't repeat. Now look at this. This you will understand. Two independent clauses joined with a conjunction is a compound sentence. Now look at this. Identify whether it is a simple or a compound. Yeah. There is a point. So you will have to identify whether it's a simple or a compound sentence. Quick. Very quickly. You have to say whether this is a simple or a compound sentence. Write all the answers together, because, yeah, it's a bit blurred because I've zoomed it to the maximum. I don't want anybody to say, oh, ma'am, I can't see it. Quick. I give you 2 minutes time because you only have to identify. Yeah, most of you have written it correctly. This is Om Gupta. What is correlative conjunction? Do not worry about these nomenclatures or titles in grammar. All that you will be asked, or all that we want you to know, is that you need to use a variety of sentences when you write or when you speak, especially when you are in an office situation. Okay, you cannot be talking like a primary kid, which will say, write a composition about your pet. You know how a primary kid would write? My pet is the dog. My pet's name is. My pet can do this. My pet loves me a lot. My pet. That is the primary kid's version. But as an advanced user, as a user who goes to, office, in work situations, speaking with your colleagues, you must be able to use the right type of sentences, and that's the reason why this you should have done at school. But now you will know the purpose as to why you're learning this. Okay, let me give you the answers. There is a pond, simple. The pond is near our house, simple. Charles likes to catch frogs, and I like to fish. Two independent sentences joined with and. Therefore, it's compound. Today, Charlie caught a green frog. Simple. The frog was once a tadpole, but it grew legs. It grew legs can be a separate main clause, and the frog was once a tadpole can be another main clause joined with a conjunction but. We let the frog go, and it hopped back into the pond. It hopped back into the pond is a main. We let the frog go is also a main. Sixth one not visible. We let the frog go. Yeah, there's something in the middle. Yeah, I'll take it. Then we spotted a group of tiny fish. Simple. We tried to catch them, but they were too fast. Compound. There were some. How will you identify a compound sentence? You must read the sentence and see if these two sentences can stand independently. Is it joined with a conjunction? Then it is a compound sentence. That's a very simple way. There were some rocks around the pond. Simple. We stacked the flat ones to make a bower or a fowl. Yeah. So that's simple. The tower became, make a tower. The tower became quite tall and we took a picture of it. That's compound. The pond is a fun place to be. Simple. Okay. I hope you would have corrected your versions. Now we move on. Complex working sheet. Let's look at this. Provide a fitting subordinator to fill in the gaps in these sentences. I am going to the bank. Yeah. I am going, I think I'll give you the answer so that you don't blink for this. It says complex sentence worksheets. Provide a fitting subordinator to fill in the gaps in these sentences. I am going to the bank because I need some money. I made lunch when I got home. When relative clauses are subordinate conjunctions. Okay. What are relative clauses? Who, what, which, where. Okay. These are relative clauses. WH words. Okay. I made that, although it's raining, she's going for a walk in the park. Although she finishes her homework soon, she will fail the class. He decided to trust him because he was an honest man. As soon as we went to school, she decided to investigate the situation. Jennifer decided to leave Tom because he was too worried about his job. Okay. Dennis bought a new jacket. Dennis bought a new jacket which he had received one as a gift last week. Brandley claims that there will be trouble if he doesn't complete job. So what subordinating conjunctions govern the complex sentences? If, although, after, since, then Jansi will have finished the report. Excuse me. Vinu? Vinu? Hello, Vinu? I think the transformer has burst and there's some mishap. I don't know if people are seeing. Let me go tell them and come back, right? I hear a lot of sound. I hope people have seen it because it's been raining heavily since 2 days. Just a minute. Let me see if they're Yeah. Sorry, I had to go for a break. Now here we are. Let me put it on slideshow. Yes, here we are with. Just give me a minute. Yeah, slideshow. Yeah. So complex sentences is what we've seen to let you know, to let you recall what's happened so far. Okay. Let me tell you. Simple sentences. Okay. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah, I'm opening your questions. That's why. Yeah, to answer Adib Fatima, you will be asked to identify whether it's a simple, complex, or compound sentence. Okay, so now let me move on to the next one. So answers are here for this. I never asked you to write, so I'll just show you the answers. But we'll move on to the next one. Use subordinating conjunctions. So this will help you understand. Repeat phrase once again. A phrase is a group of words that gives you some meaning. It cannot give you complete meaning. Sanya, you've been asking me how to make notes of this chapter. Making note of this chapter, I mean, your study material chapter is in detail. For sentence types, chapter 2, do all the questions that are there behind the chapter, and you will have a thorough knowledge of how to go about it. Now, to answer Dimelo, because is a conjunction, and if because comes, it will be a compound sentence, okay? But there will be rare sentences that has because and will also be a complex sentence. So what is the main criteria to identify or differentiate between a compound and a complex? Let me tell you again, I want you to watch very carefully, not to ask me again and again. Krishna, yeah, I'm answering this question. Difference between complex and compound. A complex sentence will have only one main clause, and the rest of it, whether it is 2 or 3, will be subordinate clauses. What is a subordinate clause? Subordinate clause is a phrase of words that will give you incomplete meaning, that cannot stand by itself. Okay. A compound sentence is two main sentences joined together with a conjunction. What are conjunctions? And yet I showed you long time. The middle ones are called conjunctions. If two independent sentences are joined with one of these words, it's called a conjunction. How would you differentiate this with a complex sentence? A complex sentence will have one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. What is a subordinate clause? A subordinate clause is one which cannot stand by itself. It will have to depend on the main clause for complete meaning. Okay, and now I have said it repeatedly, so we go on. There are plenty of exercises that will help you understand. Now look at this. Use subordinating conjunctions. So what are the subordinating conjunctions? Like, though, if, when, because, who. Okay. Now, Henry, for example, Henry needs to learn English, so I will teach him. To connect, no. Because Henry needs to learn English, I will teach him. It was raining outside, therefore use to connect the sentences into one complex sentence. So this is asking you to make it into a complex sentence, adding in this chapter, you will have questions like identify a simple or a complex or a compound one. Okay. Though I will teach him, Henry needs to learn English. Super, Pipasa, that's good. Yeah, so you will add, these are called subordinating conjunctions when there is a subordinate clause in the given sentence. Now, Jenny needs to ask me. I will buy it for her. Jenny needs to ask me, then I will buy it for her. Or if Jenny needs, no, you can't have if there. Jenny needs to ask me, yeah, therefore I will buy it for her. Yuan played golf extremely well. She was very young. Although she was very young, Yuan played well. Yes, Suraj, you're right. A sentence doesn't start with because. Yeah. Okay. Franklin wants to get a new job. He is preparing for job interviews. As Franklin wants to get a new job, he is preparing for job interviews. Okay. Now, look here. The answers are here. Really, what's this? Okay, change this. I'm writing you this. Okay, I'll move this. Okay, now, what's the difference between simple and complex? We move on to this. Simple and complex. One subject, one verb, simple sentence. Andrea plays tennis on Fridays. Complex sentence. More than one subject and or verb. She is a gentlewoman who plays tennis well. Who plays tennis well? If you see the relative clauses there, who, which, where, that's complex. Now, state which of the following are compound and which is complex. Now, let's see how you can do it. I think I have the answers here. Yeah. Okay, quick. And I'm going to give you 5 minutes. So after doing this exercise, I also want you to find out which are these subordinate conjunctions. Okay. That will help you identify a complex sentence. Done. Now I'm going to show you the answers. Yeah. The answers are here. Quick. I'll give you 1 minute to complete this. Okay. Now we move on. Classify the following as simple complex, compound, or compound complex. So your one sentence can have a compound and a complex sentence. Okay. Now we are going to see how to identify that. Now look at this. We decided to go fishing and camping out at the lake. Now I'm not going to say, I know I have the answers here. Yeah. There are 6 sentences. So I'll give you 6 minutes. Quick. Yeah. Let's see now. Let's look at the answers. Okay, first one. We decided to go fishing and camping out at the lake. Simple sentence. Uh, this summer our vacation should be both exciting and useful. Simple. After the tornado hit should be a complex sentence. Yes. Then, since we had only one plate, we had to take turns to eat our dinner. Simple. Lata and Suman cooked and served people through the day. What does it say? Simple. No. Lata and Suman cooked and served people through the day is a simple sentence, not a compound sentence. I'll tell you why. Because this is where it is tricky. Okay? Lata and Suman cooked and served people through the day. Here, you don't have compound sentences, must have a subject also. Okay? Now let us look at the sixth one. So fifth sentence, Lata and Suman cooked and served people through the day is just a simple sentence because although you have and there, you don't have two subjects. Okay. Now let's look at the last one. I wanted to go to the market today, but the thunderstorm prevented me from doing so. So this is a compound complex. Okay. This is a compound complex sentence. Now let's look at the answers. It's just a compound. Let's see. I wanted to go to the market today. Okay, that can be a sentence. That's a main clause. The thunderstorm prevented me from doing so because the so has a reference to the main clause here. So it's not a compound sentence. Compound sentence is something that will give you complete meaning. Bhavana, we don't have types of phrases in our study material. I don't know if we have it. I didn't check that. But I will check it. And if it has, then maybe tomorrow I will explain. Next class I'll explain. I don't think we have types of phrases there. But anyway, I'll check that. Okay. Right now I don't have it here. Maybe it's in the card. Okay. Explain compound complex once again. A sentence that has a compound sentence and a complex sentence, part of a sentence, is a compound complex sentence. Let's see, we have more examples. Now look at this. I want you to read. I'm not going to read it for you. I want you to read it yourself so that you understand the differences. I'll give you 5 minutes time for that. See, it is very, very simple. A compound sentence must have two main clauses joined with a conjunction. A compound complex sentence or a simple sentence will not, even if there is and or because or therefore, they will not be two independent sentences. Okay? You're asking me why is the fourth sentence a simple sentence? Fourth sentence, since we had only one plate, we had to take turns to eat our dinner. Okay? There is one main clause, but since we had only one plate, is not complex because it does not have, you have a comma there that defines it. Okay? Type of clause is also there. Okay. Then that portion we will do tomorrow, next class, because this is more important than the other one for one reason. Second reason, you will be tested only in simple complex compound. So I don't want you to, confuse yourself with, with everything that's there as nomenclature. By the feel of the grammar, see, grammar comes correctly, or you will be able to use grammar correctly by the feel of the context. Okay. Which one, Rohani? Julie sentence. Well, here in the fourth sentence, not here. Julie is not in this sentence. Which one are you talking about? Oh, here. Julie doesn't like seafood. She doesn't like cabbage. Julie doesn't like seafood, nor does she like cabbage. Yeah. Yes, yes, Ruhani, you're right. Had it been the other way around, it would have been a simple sentence. Yes, you're right. Now let's move on. You have different sentences, differentiation tone between a simple and a complex. See, I have inbuilt exercises to let you know in different ways, in different form, how to differentiate between a simple, complex, and compound sentences. There, since is used, and also it's not a complete sentence. Thereafter, since they're used, which one, Bipasa? You mean the third one? The third one, 1, 2, 3. He earned $100. Is this the one you're talking about? Compound complex is where you have a compound and a complex sentence. I will give you examples, don't worry. Now we are in simple and complex sentences. The answers are there, but I just want you to read and understand how these are simple or complex. And also remember, I'm not going to give you a break because this is working on internet now. I'm sorry, working on my bank, power bank. So I don't know when the power will go down. So let's not have a break. Maybe I'll finish it 5 minutes or 10 minutes early. Okay. Thank you, Abhimanyu. Now, you say concept clear nahi ho raha hai. Okay, without this PowerPoint, let me, because with the questions that you have posted, I feel I need to do it again for you. So I'm doing it from the beginning. Simple, complex, compound sentences. A simple sentence is a sentence that has a subject and a predicate, that has only one main verb, and that gives you complete sentence. So these three conditions define a simple sentence. Let me repeat. You can take it down if you want. A simple sentence has a subject and a predicate. It has one main verb, and it gives you complete meaning. These are the three things that govern a simple sentence. Now let me talk of complex sentences. Complex sentences is one that has one complete sentence, a subject and a predicate, a main verb, and a complete sentence, and a few more words to give you additional meaning for that same sentence. It gives you additional meaning, more meaning for the same sentence. Now, while doing that, we add therefore, since, because, when, where, which, who. This is the book that she gave me. So these are called subordinating conjunctions. Now, let me go back to simple to draw your attention to the difference. Simple has a subject and a predicate, has a main verb, and gives you complete sentence. Complex is where you have a main clause, subject and a predicate, a main verb, and gives you complete meaning. And it also has additional words to give you more meaning to the existing sentence. Okay, that is a complex sentence. And you use subordinating conjunctions for that. For example, that, so, sometimes even, because, when, after, relative clauses, who, which, where. These are subordinating conjunctions. Now about the compound sentence. Compound sentence is two or more simple sentences joined together with conjunction. That is called compound sentence. What are the conjunctions? Yet, so, because, therefore, as well as much as. Okay. These are compound sentences. Now, let me go backwards for you to help you revise. And then I'm going to ask you to post it here. I did not go to marriage because I was sick. Yes, this is a compound sentence because there's two compound sentences, two independent clauses. Okay. Now I'm going from compound to simple. A compound sentence has two simple sentences, which has a subject and a predicate. Both the sentence will have subject and predicate. Both the sentences will have a main verb. Both the sentences will give you complete meaning. When I go to complex sentence that has one main clause and one one or more subordinate clauses. Okay, that is a complex sentence, and it is governed by after, though, although, relative clauses like who, which, that, where. Okay, that is a complex sentence. A simple sentence is a main clause. It has subject and predicate. It has a main verb. It gives you complete sense. Now, I want you to post the definition for all the three in your own words very quickly so that you understand. And then if we do the exercise, you will get it all right. Quick. I'll wait for 5 minutes. And now it is 12:01. Predicate is the rest of the sentence. For example, I have a book. I is the subject. Have a book is predicate. Always the subject is the noun with the article. This girl is beautiful. Okay. This is the boy who got the first rank. Okay. Although it was raining, subordinating conjunction, complex sentence. You just post in the chat box the definitions of simple, complex, compound quickly. I have said it, maybe I'll repeat it once again and then I'll give you 5 minutes. Simple sentence has a subject and a predicate, has a main verb, it gives you complete meaning. Complex sentence has one main clause and two or more subordinate clauses governed by a subordinating conjunction. That is a complex sentence. Compound sentence has two main clauses, two or even more main clauses combined with conjunctions. Quick, I wanted to post the 3 ways that you can identify simple, complex, compound, and then we will move on. Quick. I'm also looking at your chat box meanwhile. Super, Yuvika, you're right. I'm not showing any PPT, Suraj. Hey, Krishna. We will talk only about what we are doing here. Chapter 2, and that is sentence types. Quick. I'm waiting for you. Yeah. Yes, Sakshi, you're right. Yes, Hardik. Super. I'm so happy that all of you have understood whatever I have said so far. Now let's do the exercises. I'm sure you will be able to do because we have to move on to active and passive. Yeah. Just a minute. Now look here. I have given you the answers too. Okay. Just for you to understand how it works. Now look at that. So I have given you the coordinating conjunctions, the subordinating conjunctions with which you can identify a complex sentence. Now just look at this. Here are examples of complex sentences. You will see that the part that is in block red yes, I thought all of you had finished because they started posting. So I thought you were finished because I was scared of wasting time. Okay. Okay. Next time I'll be strict about it. If I say 5 minutes, it will be 5 minutes. Fine. Now I'll give you 3 minutes for that because you're just going to read these. I'm giving you 3 minutes. Yes, complex sentence has one main clause. you want to copy these will be good, because maybe now you understand. But later you might again get a doubt. So you can copy these so that you know what a complex sentence is and what governs a complex sentence. Prabhat, yes, I see everybody's chat here. Okay, you have a minute more. Let me not rush it. Subordinating conjunctions we have given you separately so that you understand it even at the sight of it. You have here then, see, these are called subordinating conjunctions. When, because, even though, if, until. Yeah, which defines that as a dependent clause. See, for the beginning, it might be confusing, but it is really, really simple. Super. Thank you, Sanya. Same sentence cannot be a complex and a compound. They have to be governed or defined by the words that are used there. Okay. Now let's move on. Barbara and Johan whispered and giggled all night. You have to find the right sentence. I see all your Venkatalakshmi. You cannot have the same sentence for both compound and complex. Okay. Now you answer this. Barbara and Joan whispered and giggled all night. Post your answer here. I give you only 1 minute on this because it's only one sentence. Yeah, let me see your answers. Yeah, super. Most of you have written it correctly. Now, let me move on to the next one. These are multiple choice questions. We decided to go fishing and camp out at the lake. Quick. Krishna, read it again. You're not right. Patak, please check your answer. You're not right. Bhumika, you're not correct. Please check it. If you see an and, it doesn't mean it is compound. Shagufa, please check your sentence. It's not right at all. So this again is a simple sentence. Now look at this. Now look, this is a real test. Come on fast. Let me see how many of you can write it correctly. Yeah, okay, I'll give you 1 minute for you to check what to write. We are now talking of the third one. Mansi, you're right. Super. Mansi, then Sahil, Vidipta. You're all right. But others are all wrong. Quick. Yeah. So the answer here is compound complex. Let me tell you how. Those clouds promise rain, so we should hurry up. Okay. Suppose the sentence gets over here. Those clouds promise rain can be an independent sentence. So we should hurry up can be another sentence. It is joined with a conjunction. And then I go on to say, and leave before we get caught in a flash flood. Here, although there is and leave before is not a compound sentence here. Okay, that becomes complex because this part of the sentence does not give you, this part of the sentence does not give you a complete meaning. Therefore, it is compound complex sentence. Super Rajeshwari. Yes, you're right. Prabhat, yeah. Okay. This is Fatima. Yes. Yuvika. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Now let's go on to the next one. Since we had only gone a mile from camp, we decided to return before dark. Okay. I leave it to you. Quickly mark. Suraj, okay. I must have left you. Sakshi, yes, you're right. Now, I'm going to give you only 1 minute. Now it's 12:12, 12:13. Quick, because I must start off with active and passive today. Only then will we have time to do the question paper. Yeah. Yuvika is right. Mohammed is right. Kushi is right. Rishika, Ruhani, Pooja. So those names whom I'm calling out, I have written it correctly. Lakida, Saumya, Patak, Valobi. Quick. Yeah, this is complex sentence because one part of the sentence gives you complete meaning and there is another part that does not give you full meaning. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. Now look at this. Very quick. I give you just 1 minute. Preeti, you're wrong. Suprava is also wrong. Quick. Sanya is wrong. The rest of you are right. Quick. Because there's only one sentence. You shouldn't take long time. Yashat, you're wrong. Yeah, done. Okay, let me move on. That's a complex one. Yeah, this is a real test. Quick, 1 minute. Now it's 14. Class is lagging. No, from my side it's good. Uh-oh. Restful. This is the I'm giving you 1 full minute. Question is not visible. I'm sharing. Class is buffering. I don't know why. Can't see the question. Okay, let me tell you the sentence and the answer. Older television sets had tubes. The newest models, which take less space, are digital televisions. When you have which, who, where, that, they are complex sentences. Okay, class is lagging. Screen is still blur. Okay, maybe because the power has gone and I'm working on the power bank. Maybe that's why you're not able to see. Okay, anyway, this one is done. Simple complex compound is done. Now, if you have to have a clear idea of, I'm not showing you the video now because all of you say it's buffering. If you have to have a clear idea of simple complex compound, work out the sentences that are there in the back of the chapter. That's number 1. Number 2, do at least 5 or 6 sentences, 5 or 10 sentences every day so that you remember and you don't make a mistake. That will help you greatly. Also, write simple complex compound sentences, samples of simple complex compound, so that you are able to understand it thoroughly well and you never ever get it out. And whenever you write paragraphs, say compositions, reports, articles, letters, mails, try to have a variety of these sentences in your writing so that people understand that your knowledge of English is a sound one. Okay. With this, we complete simple complex compound. The next one, I told you about the phrases and the clauses. No, noun phrases and the variety types of phrases and types of clauses. I think types of clauses we've done. Types of phrases alone we'll do tomorrow. Now, I'll move on to the next one. Just give me a minute. I'll pick out that. In the past question papers, only one or two question paper had only one or two question papers had the identification of simple complex compound. The rest of the papers dealt with passive or reported speech. And that's what we are going to do now. Just give me a minute. Let me pick up my PPT and I will give you a 5-minute break now so that I pick my PPT. Just give me a minute and I'll do that. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. And here we are. Conjunctions, when the conjunctions are used as subordinating conjunctions, then it is a complex. Okay. I've got this active and passive, but let me check whether the slide is all right. Vinu, hello. Vinu, can you check if my PPT is clear? Because some of them are saying it's blurred. I'm sharing now. I just want you to check whether it's clear. Huh? Is it clear? But some of them have posted saying it's blurring or it's lagging. Okay, fine. And here we are with active and passive. Okay. After active and passive, we will look at the question bank. I told you I'm not giving you the 5-minute break because I'm working on the power bank and I don't know when I will get the power back. Okay. So let's finish it for today. And I'll leave you a little early. Now, active voice. Why active voice? Because for clarity, we need to speak in active voice, or we use active voice in writing. For conciseness, for writing it very briefly, because a passive voice sentence will have a roundabout way of saying things. Okay, so conciseness, in brief. Effective communication is always an active. Okay, and then we move on. Okay, rules for changing active to passive. What are the rules? You must bear in mind very, very clearly that for changing from active to passive or passive to active, only the usage of by is important, and accordingly the tense will change. Okay, I am going to tell you, this is Subhadeep. Just wait, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. What is active voice? Debashri, comprehension is a very, very important question in your exam. Question number 7 is comprehension. Without answering or attempting that, your paper will not be valued. I think I said it right in the beginning. Now, look at the active voice and the passive voice. What the subject does becomes important in an active voice. The focus is on the action in the passive voice. Okay. For example, Ram killed Ravan. Ravan was killed by Ram. So you add a by to make it passive. And you also say was killed. So passive voice is always a roundabout way of writing or saying things, whereas active is very short, precise, to the point, and short. That's the reason why we say we use an active voice when we are talking. Passive is used in newspaper headlines because most of the news, what happened is more important than who did it, unless it's a crime. Okay, we'll come to that. Don't be in a hurry. Okay, passive voice. What classifies or what defines a passive voice? More words. It can be vague because there are more words. Can lead to a tangle of prepositional phrases. A lot of prepositional phrases will be used. Newspapers carry passive news for reporting because the doer is not important. Only the event is important. Language used for recipes. Okay, pour the water, take the oil, boil the milk, kind of things. Vaibhav Raj, you don't understand. You will understand as we do the examples. Language for instructions. Okay, you should be attentive in the class. You should have your study material by your side. You should pay attention. All these kind of instructions come in passive voice. Now look at this. Newspaper headlines are mostly in passive, except for this one, King Elvis dead. So here this person is important and therefore that's mentioned. Hingolakar Prasanna. You don't have to make any notes for this chapter. Just go by what your study material says, because I'm doing just the same things, except giving you more examples and more images that can help you understand. Okay. Meaning of vague, Subhadeep, meaning of vague is not clear. So these are different headlines. Berlin Wall tumbles. Okay, war on America. Who's doing it is mentioned in the article, but the headlines just says war on America. Now, sample recipes. Look at these recipes. Okay. After entering the title of the recipe and a short description, add the ingredients. Okay. You don't need to use tabs if you don't want to. Yeah, super Madhivadana. You're right. Yes. Which one? A complex sentence is a sentence that contains an independent and a and a dependent one. Yes. In this case, the independent clause is we had to take turns to eat our dinner. And the dependent clause is since we had only one plate. Since we had only one plate is a complex version. Since, for, okay, although. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right, Madhivadana. I must have mixed up with the other sentence because I show 5 sentences at one go, right? Yeah. And good that you noticed it. I'm happy that you brought it. Yeah, so recipes have this kind of language where there are only instructions. Language for instructions. Look at this. Checklist for writing instructions. Use short sentences and short paragraphs. Arrange your points in a logical order. Make your statements specific. Use the imperative mood. I'm reading out, so don't worry if you're not able to look at the slide. These are just instructions that will help you understand how to make an active and a passive voice. So even before we get into the mechanics of active and passive, you must understand that in the active and passive exercise, there is only one thing that you need to change. That is, you must have a by. Accordingly, the tense will change. But in a reported speech, you have 10 different things to change. So even before we start the reported speech, let me tell you that in the active and passive, you just have to add the word by. And if you have to have the word by there, the tense will change accordingly. The tense will not change into past and present or future, but the way of writing, the form of the tense will change. You will understand it when you do the exercise. Now look at this. Checklist for writing instructions. Use short sentences and short paragraphs. You know why? the number of mistakes you may make may be less. So use short sentences and short paragraphs. Arrange your points in a logical order. Make your statements specific. Use the imperative mood. You know what an imperative mood is? The order, the command mood. Put the most important item in each sentence at the beginning. So you begin with, take a pan, boil milk, okay, like that. Say one thing in each sentence. Do not combine too many things. Choose your words carefully, avoiding jargon and technical terms if you can. What is a jargon? That is a colloquial form of using expressions to understand. Give an example draft for logic of presentation. Don't omit steps or take shortcuts. Now, what is important in a passive voice? Action is more important than the actor. That is passive. To keep the subject and focus consistent throughout a passage, passive is important. An authoritarian tone. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm working on a power bank right now. So listen to what I'm saying. Okay. Tomorrow, maybe I'll run through the slides again for you. I went to market. Yeah. So buy me is understood. So you won't use buy there. I went to market. Voice is breaking. Okay, wait, let me find out because the board also says that it's clear. Let me find out from them. If it is blurring, then maybe tomorrow we can, the next class, we'll start off with active and passive. Okay, just wait, let me find out. Vinu, most of them are saying that the voice is lagging, breaking, screen not clear. Is that so? Vinu, are you there? See, most of them have said it is not, voice is breaking, screen not clear, slide not clear. Their side, okay. So what do? I just continue? Okay, fine. Okay, so here we are. And maybe there is a buffering because the power is not continuous, but from my side, there's no problem. Both side also, there's no problem. Okay, we just continue. And if it is blurring for you, I'm also saying it orally so that you understand. Yeah, I went to the market. I'll come back to you. Let me finish this, what I have here in my slide, and then go there. Okay, now I have a list of passive examples, active and passive examples. This is to let you know. Okay, the full details of passive and active. Sushmita, I told you in my ground rules, don't jump chapters. Talk what is relevant here. Okay, passive voice is not confusing at all, but just wait. I'm now showing you in my slide samples of tenses, the different tenses, and active and passive examples. Okay, now I'll read it out for those of you who say it's not clear. So I have one column, I have the tenses, another column I have active voice, another column I have passive voice. Present simple. They speak German in Austria. This is active. Passive. German is spoken in Austria. Okay. Yeah, see, this is for Krishna. What you have in your study material will be extra for you. Okay. This is only to supplement and complement or to reinforce what you have already known or what you already need to know. Just that. Okay. Now, second one, present continuous. When I say continuous, it has to be ing form. They are planting some trees. Some trees are being planted. By them is understood. You don't have to say it. Not all the time. Okay. Here in the sentence, it's okay. Now, what you must really understand is to add the by can be being, has been, were not being depends on this sentence. Okay. Now, someone has eaten my muffin. That is present perfect. My muffin has been eaten by somebody is understood. Then past simple. They closed the road for a day. The road was closed for a day. Okay. Past continuous. He was not feeding his dogs. His dogs were not being fed by him. Past perfect. Someone had put out the fire before the fire brigade arrived. Yes, Subhadeep. Yes, you're right. So the fire had been put out before the fire brigade arrived by somebody is understood. Therefore, we are not mentioning it. Now, future simple. They will fine you for littering. You will be fined for littering. Okay. Future. They are going to raise taxes. Yashwant, you sent. Shopkeeper sells the goods to Yash. Sells the goods to Yash is active. The goods are sold by the shopkeeper to Yash. That is passive. That's for Yashwant. Okay, future with going to. They are going to raise taxes. Taxes are going to be raised. Then modal verbs, you can solve the problem. The problem can be solved. So when you have modal verbs, you have to use that in your passive also. You can solve the problem. You should solve the problem. The problem should be solved. Okay. So it depends on what comes in the active voice question. Okay. Now I move on. Passive voice. Look at more examples. He receives a letter. A letter is received by him. When it is a simple, by them is understood. Therefore, we don't say it. Yashwant, I answered your question just now. He is receiving a letter. A letter is being received by him. He received a letter. A letter was received by him. Okay, some more examples of the same kind, active and passive, so that you all understand that this is the way we change. Okay. Now, present simple. I'm reading out. Otherwise, I would say I give you 5 minutes, read it. Now I'm reading out because some of you say it is blurring. Okay. Present simple. I do my homework. Passive. My homework is done. By me is understood. Present continuous. I am doing my homework. My homework is being done. Past simple. I did my homework. My homework was done. Yeah, Subhadeep, you're right. I was doing my homework. My homework was being done. By me is understood. I have done my homework. My homework has been done. Past perfect. I had done my homework. My homework had been done. So that is the only biggest change that you need to remember when you change. Yeah. Yes, Palobi. In the next class, I will share again the active passive slides and then push on with reported speech. Yes, I'll do that. But now I'm reading it out to you so that you listen and understand. I will do my homework. My homework will be done. By me is understood, so I don't write it. Now, I hope all of you can see the slide. I've given you active sentences. I want you to change these into passive. Quick. If you say it is blurring, you're not able to read, then I will dictate. You'll have to write it in your notebooks. Then I will show you the answers, then you can correct it. So that will let me know whether you've understood it thoroughly. Okay. Can all of you see the slide? If you can, then copy it. I'll give you 5 minutes time. Okay, very good. Thank you. Copy this because each sentence is of a different tense. Therefore, it is important and it will be good for you to copy it in your notebook so that you revise before you go for the exam. You know thoroughly what will have to change and how it has to change. Quick, I'll give you 5. There are 10 sentences, I guess, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I will give you 5 minutes. This is Bipasa. Her application for a new job was faxed. By her is understood. Don't post your answers here, please. Write it in your notebook because each sentence is of a different tense. Okay? And this is for you to help you understand how it should be changed with the different tenses. So write it down. Don't post it here. I'll show you the answers and you can correct your answers. Write it in your notebooks. Don't post it here. You have a minute more. You want me to read it? So I'll read out the active sentences. The cat kills the mouse. The cat is killing the mouse. The cat killed the mouse. Oh, you want me to say it slowly? No, I have also given you cats so that you understand how to change it. You done? Okay. No, all through this is only cat. There is no cats. That's for Subhadi. Okay, now the answers. Answers are in red. See how they are changed. Copy the answers to mark right if you have it correctly done. If you have made a mistake, rewrite that sentence so that you remember. Yeah, I'm showing you the answers, Krishna. You may check your answers. If you have written it wrong, then please write the correct answer in your notebooks so that it's like a ready reckoner, you will understand. The passive sentence will have to go very closely with the active sentence, except for the one or two changes that you make based on the usage of by and the tense. Beyond that, you shouldn't change anything else. You can't see, but I'm okay. Also not clear. Okay, wait. Maybe I'll share again. Sometimes, I'll share again. Yeah. Now check. Can you see that? Now it's visible. Yeah. Last answer. What's the last question? Give me a minute. The cat will be killing the mouse. The mouse will be killed by the cat. Will be killed. Because it's in the future. The cat will be killing the mouse. The mouse will be killed by the cat. Answers are red are not visible, then I'll read it out for you. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll change the color next time. Okay, I'm reading out the answers. You can check. The mouse is killed by the cat. I'll read the question and the answer. The cat kills the mouse. The mouse is killed by the cat. The cat is killing the mouse. The mouse is being killed by the cat. The cat killed the mouse. The mouse was killed by the cat. The cat was killing the mouse. The mouse was being killed by the cat. The cat has killed the mouse. The mouse has been killed by the cat. So you must remember, whenever you're using has, have, or had, you must have B-E-N or B-I-N-G. Been or being. You must remember that. Okay. The cat had killed the mouse. The mouse had been killed by the cat. Uh-oh. Then the cat will kill the mouse. The mouse will be killed by the cat. The cat killed the mouse. The mouse was killed by the cat. So you see how the plural form of the noun can also trick you. Yeah, I'll remove the red color, but not now, only in the next class. Saurav, teaching you this exercise will teach you the tense and the active and the passive. That's why this exercise is chosen. Okay. So from the beginning of the sentence, you can see first is simple present, next is present continuous, then it is past, simple past, then it is past continuous, then you have past perfect, present perfect, past perfect, then you have the future, then you have plural noun. So each question sentence is of a different type. Will being killed is a wrong usage, Sushmita. That's why we say will be killed. No, the cat killed the mice. Wait. Please give. Oh. Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop with this because the next part of the same active and passive, we have tricky sentences. Sentences that have a variety. Sentences where you have to answer differently. And if you look at the past question papers, you will have 5 active passive sentences. Either you change from active to passive or passive to active. But you will get 5 sentences. So you have to be prepared. I will share with you the past question paper and you can check for your answer, check for yourselves and try to answer. I'll help you. What is the meaning of perfect here? Present perfect. That's a tense. Will being killed is a wrong usage, I told you. Can you point out separately the rules of changing the tense? Yes. I think I have a last slide which tells you separately how to change it. Okay, now I'm looking at your questions. I'll remove the red color for tomorrow. That's one. And we'll run through the same slides for the first 10-15 minutes in the next class, so that those of you who said it's blurring or it's lagging may get it done. Now, I stop here. 8th one has cats or cats. Yashwant, it's cats. That is deliberately given so that you see how the tense changes. That should not mislead you. Second last answer, the mice were killed by the cat. The cat killed the mice. The mice were killed by the cat because I've changed the mouse to mice. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I stop here and this question, I went to market, Janavi. I went to the market. I will get back to you on that because I'm also thinking. Okay. Answer 9. Which one is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The mice were killed by the cat. Mice is a plural form, plural noun. So the mice were killed by the cat. The cat, what have I said? The cat killed the mice. The mice were killed by the cat. You see, we've used were. In the second sentence, it was simple past and a singular noun. So it says, the third sentence, the mouse was killed by the cat. Okay. Will be killing is continuous. Will kill is just a simple future tense. There is no question of which has the highest weightage. That's not how you will do. As I said already, the foundation English is there for you to help you communicate at your office place confidently, accurately, and fluently. Okay? So you don't have to, who's this? Yashas. Don't have to repeat this question so many times. Okay? All chapters are very important for you, not just for an exam, but also for your image in the office. Subhadeep, open the door, let the door be open. Okay? Wherever you have orders like that, you will use let. This I went to the market, I'm still thinking. I'll come back to you in the next class. Okay? You cannot say the market was gone by me, because that's not going to be the right way to say it. Okay? I think I have answered all questions. So you have a variety of sentences in this exercise. You have plural forms of the active, plural forms of the passive, and then different tenses as to how you must change the tenses according to by, being. Okay? I stop here now. I have to leave you 5 minutes early. So from now, you will post in the chat box, what did you learn? I was gone to the market? No. Simple past form. Yeah, I was gone to the market. Doesn't sound good English. So maybe you will say again, I went to the market. You cannot say I was gone to the market by me. Subject must come in the last, right? Okay, anyway, I will check. I'm not sure of it. Now, I stop now, and I want you to post in the chat box answers for 3 questions. One is, what did you learn today? 2, what will you remember? And 3, what did you like of this session? I was gone to the market. I don't know, maybe you're wrong, but we never say it. That's not the way we use it. Anyway, I will check. Now, this is time for you to post your feedback. Do not sign off without posting your feedback, because that's very important for me and for you. I get to see your market was visited by me. How can go change to visited? Devesh. How can go change to, see, he says, I went to the market. Went can't be changed to visited, right? No. I was going to the market. No way. You forget that I have similar sentences in my question. Let's see how we do it. Okay. Now, 3 questions you will answer. 1, what did you learn? 2, what will you remember? And how did you like the session? You may start posting quickly. And I'm leaving you 5 minutes early because we never had a break. Quick. Come on fast, I'm waiting for you. The market was gone by me is the wrong one, Muthukumaran. That's not right. That's not right, Jayashree, Uday. Market was gone. Is being gone to by me? No, no way. Yashas, what is the last one? The cat will be killing the mouse. The mouse will be killed by the mouse. The cat will be killing the mouse. What have I said? The mouse will be killed by the cat. Yeah. Market was gone by me is a wrong usage. Quick. I went to the market. I was going to the market. Both are active. Where you have the subject in the beginning, that is an active voice. There is no doubt about it. You have to change to passive means you have to find out how you will change. What is it, Saurabh? My comment is so. What's that? I am seeing everybody's comment. Gone to by me is a wrong usage. We don't say it that way. Being gone to, no, forget that sentence. I'll come back to you tomorrow. I'll have to check. Subhadeep, that's not right. Krishna, you're not right. You first post your feedback, that's important. This I will check with my grammar book. Come on fast. Yes, that's wrong. Rakshita is wrong. I told you, you forget that sentence, I'll come back to you. Yeah, I have plenty more sentences. Tomorrow I will share. Very good. That's for Shravani. Quick, I must see all of you posting before you sign off. Vinu, I'm leaving them 5 minutes early because we didn't have a break. Yeah, you can.